So Renoa is a strong combo damage dealer, and generally speaking, you're looking for card draw, card discard, card selection effects, void damage increase, anything utilizing retaining cards into the hand to set up for last ditch assault nukes, and just comboing with just discarding cards from your hand and doing steady streams of damage. And a majority of that damage comes from Dirge Bullet. And the cards that work well with that mechanic are Echo of Sorrow and Flower of Devoured Fate. They're the main ways of creating these bullets that, when they're discarded from your hand, do extra damage. So if Dirge Bullet is in your hand and it gets discarded, it does 108% extra attack on a random enemy. You can use it for one, but generally speaking, you're either discarding it or comboing it with other cards to discard or exhaust from your hand or graveyard to deal massive amounts of damage. Now, the best epiphanies for Echo of Sorrow, in my opinion, are going to be 2, which does 151% damage. It creates 1 bullet and it creates 2 bullets into your graveyard. So gives you 3 bullets for 1 AP, which is a really nice ratio. I also like number 4, does the same thing, 3 bullets, 1 AP. Also, number 5 is probably overall the best for consistency in the deck because it creates 1 bullet and it gives you a bullet every single turn for the rest of the game, or for the rest of the fight. All right, the second most consistent way to create bullets is going to be Flower of Devoured Fate. It's also one of the best card draw effects in the game. It's also one of the best retained card effects in the game. So this one has 3 really strong epiphanies, and it's going to be number 1, which you can discard up to 3 cards from your hand and create that many Dirge Bullets. You can discard Dirge Bullets to create more Dirge Bullets, and this costs 0, and they also deal damage because they're getting discarded. So it's a very powerful effect for multiple different reasons. I also really like number 4 because you're drawing up to 3 cards, but 2 cards for 1 for sure, which again is a really incredible skill just off base to draw 2. So, but drawing 3 is also just nuts. And number 5 combos pretty well with the deck as well because you can get 2 to 3 bullets in hand, let's say, cast retrieve on them, pass turn, deal 324% damage with the Dirge Bullets being discarded, and then they come back into your hand to do again next turn. So they all pair really well with the synergies involved. I also will show you one of my builds towards the end of the video where I have the draw style, where I have the draw effect, number 4. Okay, let's look at Instant Judgment. And for Instant Judgment, I think 1, 2, and 3 all utilize the Dirge Bullets in different ways and can deal some consistent damage. So I think all of those can be utilized pretty well. Also, I do like number 5, which is just consistent damage at the end of turns. The only one I really don't like out of here is number 4. So I think all of these effects are pretty good epiphany wise, but they're kind of lower on the totem pole because you really need to get the other combo started. So generally speaking, I think this is going to be at base level, but if you can make a deck and you get all of these effects, it's pretty good. I just think this particular card is going to be lower on the totem pole to get upgraded to an epiphany. Okay, let's go to Ballad of Pitch Black. This card is very, very good as well. I personally like 2 and 4 for the epiphanies the best, just because paying 1 AP to get 3 Dirge Bullets into your hand and then utilizing the card we're going to talk about next can lead to some pretty big nuke turns. Also, number 4, increasing the damage. Just if you have 2 to 3 bullets in hand, it's going to do 200 to 300% extra damage, is pretty nice to start stacking up bigger damage effects. So those two are probably my favorite of these. You can utilize some of these other ones as well, but usually I'm looking for 2 or 4. And all of this comes together with Last Ditch Assault. Now, this is the ability that you kind of combo your bullets with. So you can discard all of the bullets from your hand, and then they're going to deal their discard damage plus this extra 50% per bullet. So, and this has retain, so it just stays in your hand until you get a pretty good bullet turn, and you can just dump them all until you can get another one. So, pretty fun little nuke build, but that's kind of how you complete the whole package. Her ego skill is also pretty cool as well because it moves all dirge bullets from draw pile and graveyard to hand. So if you can get a lot of draw effects and 0 cost cards and discard cards in your hand, you can get a lot of bullets made into your deck and then bring them all to hand and then drop a big huge nuke for 6-7 bullets depending on your deck consistency. The one I have right now will get like maybe 2 or 3 bullets and nuke, but that's just because I'm doing a few other things with that deck. And now partners. Okay, I think a COD is the best free-to-play partner. He increases bullet damage, and when you crit, he helps deal more damage. He also gives you a significant amount of crit early game, which is very nice. It's only for 1 turn, but it can give you some really big damaging turns when you're going for nukes and just big discard turns. The more pay-to-win partners are going to be in the Battle Pass, which is Sarithia, and she is pretty nice. She increases the crit rate, and she also, helps stack up some more damage and things. She gives vulnerable with her ego skill, so overall, very, very nice. If you like Renoa, I think this is a good pickup if you've got the Battle Pass. Her other option, which is also incredibly strong for her, is in the normal partner rescue, and it is Jeanette. And Jeanette also increases critical chance, which is very important for her, and it gives you some random bullet generation and some bullet damage. It also has the ego skill deal more damage with bullets. And last but not least is Kiara. Also just a huge damage increase for card generation. So if you're creating a lot of bullets and just drawing a lot of cards, you're gonna have a lot of cards in your graveyard and it will continue to do more damage. So if you can get one of these, this is also really nice. Basically all of them are good for her. I'm using the free-to-play one just because, these partners are really hard to get, but kind of whatever you can get your hands on, use it. Okay, we'll check out save data in a second here, but let's look at potential. You're obviously going to want to pick up the Combat Epiphany. You can skip this. I shouldn't even have leveled it up to 5. You can leave this at level 1. You can leave this at level 1 for the neutral cards, just because generally you're not going to be putting very many, if any, neutral cards in her deck. And you want to max out her unique cards. And then you also want to pick up this basic card proficiency for the dirge bullets. You want to max out the crit here. You want to max out the crit damage here. And then while I was saying before, crit chance is very important for her build, you want to get up to at least 60% for this additional damage value. And also here, you want to get above 20 for this additional damage value. So all of those are very strong. Her memory fragments. Now, I think Conqueror's aspect is going to be her best, just because her nuke utilizes it. It costs 1. All her dirge bullets cost 1. And also you can use the 2-piece set of crit damage or attack. So there is also a void set, but it works more with like K-Ron and exhaust mechanics, whereas I think this is just better utilized for her overall. Also, crit chance, crit damage, attack. If you can find any void damage, are also things you're going to be looking for her in subs and other pieces. So, like void damage here, potentially crit damage and crit rate would go very well together. ideally, or attack. I'm not going to go too in depth. I'm just going to show you like 1 or 2 cards from them and explain a couple of the synergies and why I think they go well together. Mika is going to be number 1 just because I think she's the best character in the game. The AP generation battery is crazy. You also can get a lot of neutral draw cards in her kit, such as Rally and Gear Bag, to just keep drawing extra cards. So plus you can get a bunch of wave generation going. So you can get AP, wave generation, card draw, healing, all going together in one. And it all synergizes really well with Renoa and keeping her alive and keeping the bullets coming and just letting you be able to play more cards in a turn. Her second best partner is Barrel. And the big reason I feel like Barrel works really well is just because Barrel is just a really good support for anyone. And the biggest reason is Guilty Pleasure. Guilty Pleasure, being able to draw you 3 cards, is incredible. But it not only draws you 3 cards, it's also a potential attack buff with 1. It's also a potential -1 cost to a random card in your hand. It can draw you an additional to the next turn. It can also do retain effect to all cards in hand. It just does so many different things, and Guilty Pleasure is busted. Not to mention, a lot of her other cards have retain, which is going to help keep the deck a little bit thinner, just so you get into your bullets a little bit faster. So she's the second really nice pairing. Ray is also very, very nice. She is the Void support, and she helps in a variety of different ways with card draw, card selection, void card selection, void damage increase, one cost damage increase. So she does multiple different things with her cards. One of the better things she can do is Resonating Darkness, which has an epiphany of, for 1 turn plus 80% damage to cards with a cost 1, 40% damage for void card, and it also increases the damage of cards that with cost 1. So that all synergizes really well with the bullets. She also has Snack Time, which I don't really love the exhausting for Renoa as much. I feel like that goes a little bit better with like Kayron and some other void units, but she can exhaust 2 cards and grab her void nuke and then, nuke. So Snack Time can be very, very nice as well. And just even the draw to heal is also very, very good. And also you can Resonating Darkness with the shield and healing gain 2 for 1 cost cards. So can make a little synergy with that. Also, Dark Condensation increases void damage, I believe it is. Yep. Damage to void attacks for the turn. Pretty good. Cassius is also really, really nice with Renoa. And the main reason is just because it's nice to be able to do the quests and also just shuffle. Just discarding all cards in hand and then drawing that mini can deal a lot of damage. You can also Joker to select a card from your draw pile to draw, which you can select your nuke, or you can select the Dirge Bullet Generator, so you can keep comboing. So he's very, very nice for the combo potentials. A lot of his cards draw more cards, and just the discard synergies are very, very good. So he is up there with really strong partners for him. The last one is going to be Nia. Now, Nia is very good for card draw, card discard, card selection. All her abilities synergize really, really well with Renoa. On my account, I'm going to be trying to build her to substitute for my Mika support slot, just so I can kind of get 2 teams built that I like a little bit more. But for right now, I'm just going to utilize Mika. But she is number 1 right now that I'm looking at to supplement for Mika. Her and Cassius are kind of right up there with kind of fun potential. So I think all of them make really good teammates for Renoa. Now, I think you can utilize a lot of them in different ways. Like right now I'm using Barrel, Mika, Renoa. I think you can use Nia, Barrel, Renoa. You can use Nia, Cassius, Renoa. There's just a lot of different combos I think you can put together with just these 5 units that will work really, really well together where you can just draw go. So let me show you my save data right now that I've been really liking. I need a little bit more combat or a little bit more dirge generation, but my save data right now is with Echo of Sorrow, and it's the create a dirge bullet, put 2 in the discard pile. I have the Ballad with you can get 3 dirges to your hand, and then you can use the Last Ditch Assault Nuke, which is kind of nice. And then I have 2 Flower of Devoured Fate, and they both, like, the cost is 0 because normally it's 1, and it can draw you 2 to 3 cards. So nutty. I wish I could have got rid of more like Annihilation Shot, but they ended up getting put back in because I got rid of almost everything, and I had 2 Echo of Sorrow in the run. It just didn't save them. And then comboing that with Barrel, with this one had double Guilty Pleasure, but only 1 got saved. But the draw 3, and then you draw 2 in your next turn. And then pairing that with Mika with all her wave generation. And then if you can get some rallies or gear bags in here, it makes it really, really solid for her. So let me just show you a run. Let's see if I can get a little bit of combo. I'm just going to go to like a basic level. Just go to a battle mission. Jump in. So I am going to get some inconsistent hands. That's why you kind of want the one with Outbreak of War, because you could just go right into Outbreak of War and then not really worry about anything after that. But I'm just going to pass. Find my combo pieces here. Might take a little bit, but let's see if we can get the Dirge Bullet Generator. I did not draw it. Okay, so now I'm going to Echo. I'm going to get 1 bullet in the hand. I'm going to have 2 in my yard. Okay, I am going to just pop it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will draw 3. And you see how I've Last Ditch Assault. So I'm just going to do the 1 bullet damage here. But obviously, you know, you could save that in your hand, retain it. If you have 3 or 4 bullets, this is going to do a lot of damage. I'll pass. Get a bunch more cards in hand. Can rally. Can play this. Obviously, my hand is a little full right now. But, you know, I get rid of all these zeros, let's say. I nuke that. Let's say I get rid of this as well. And then I will use that, get a bunch of bullets into my hand. And if I had saved my retain nuke ability, I could use that here. Or I can draw to search for it. And then when you pass turn, right, I also have this Ballad that can give me more. Obviously, my hand's super full. So I would get another one. And then when you pass turn, boom, boom, boom. See how those hits? So it's a really cool draw go style. You can kind of play with it. That just feels like you keep having your hand full. Now, I had a million different plays I could do. And you can run this without Barrel. And you can run this with like Cassius, Mika, Renoa. And I think it'd be really, really nice too. And you'd just be playing a million cards. But it just feels really nice because it feels like you always have a play. So she just seems like a really, really powerful unit. And Barrel's a free character and Mika's a free character. So if you just got Renoa on the starter banner, this is a perfect team comp you can utilize that does a lot of damage. Okay, let's get out of here.